Welcome to from here to Jerusalem, day 116, and we are in Clone, Clone, whatever. So Sean Harp is back at the apartment. I'm staying with Jenny and Sterling. And Jenny I saw for the last time 16 years ago. Where did we end? Day 114, the start of day 114 in Pink. And I was heading for, where did I go? I was heading for Cologne, of course. I was heading for Cologne for days, and I ended up going slower and slower. This always happens, like it happens at the end as well, is when you've got a big goal and all of a sudden everything becomes too hard. I had the same when I arrived in the Netherlands. I only made it to Delft and then I really needed to go and rest. So here we are. Prove that I'm in Poland. You can see it by the glasses in which they serve the beer. And it is Kroos. Not Grove, but Kroos. For Köln. So I had, I was going to try and I chickened out constantly about sleeping outside. Although looking back now, along the Rhine banks, it would have been just fine. But I wasn't confident enough. So here we are. It is, I hope we could hear this now. It is day 116. I stayed in a little place before so, something like that. Anyway, so in the middle of all this chemical stuff and things, you have this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. I got eaten alive. Oh yeah, I got eaten alive at night. I stayed in Friedrichs something and I got eaten alive. I did the update in the next day. I did the update in the bakery, and then I went to walk to as close to Cologne as I could get, and I kind of knew I wasn't going to make it. So I did that, and Sean the Harp is kind of getting fed up with me because we just walk and we haven't really been sharing. Now, Rosie, who I met the other day in the Greek place outside of Neuss, she came to meet me again to have lunch with me at one of the Rhine crossings, one of the little ferry crossings. And she was saying, like, could I maybe play in Cologne for people, and could I get in touch with her? And I said, yes, of course I can, but that'd be no problem. So that we did, and then I had one more dinner and a sleep in a kind of hostel, hotel-y place before I walked into Cologne. So Cologne is like a big deal for me. It's one of those cities I thought I'd never come to. I used to hear stories about Cologne when I was a kid. The father of my best friend at the time saw one of the bombings of Cologne. I don't know whether he saw the one in 1942, 43 or 44, but he did, and he saw it from a cattle wagon on the railway tracks. So walking into Cologne was like, I knew Cologne had been bombed really badly during World War II. And like I've been saying all along in the Ruhr as well, like the architecture because of it is pretty, 20th century, all of it, second half of 20th century. And you can literally see it as you walk into the city. Is that entire streets are completely new. Most of the buildings in this city are completely new, no earlier than the 1950s and 60s. A lot of 1980s, and then there is the odd bit that is still standing, and a lot of that is no older than the 19th century. So there's me, yeah, walk around, and I come through the what is it? The western port, and I see the St. Peter's Church and the St. Peter's Brunnen, and I walk on, and then I see on the other side of the railroad tracks, I see the towers of the Dome. And then you have to go underneath the railway, and then suddenly it is there. You're there. Like you take a few corners, and suddenly it's there. Now, just for the fun of it, look up Cologne Cathedral and World War II, and the bombing of Cologne. And it's a miracle. It's a miracle that this building is still standing. Like, this is the thing that has been wrecking my head the past 2 days. That it is still standing is a miracle. But it stood. And the way I understand it is that when the bombs were dropped, yeah, the Allied, it was the first city in the war where the RAF had 1,000 planes go over, and incendiary bombs were dropped in the hope that the fire would be so bad that it would be a warning to the Nazi regime, and that it would give them, like, it would give the RAF a real boost, and it would really, really dishearten the Germans. 17 hospitals burnt down or something like that. Like, a lot of hospitals got hit. There was no telling where those bombs went, because the airstream around the actual, so they were aiming for the bridge and for the railroad station, and they blanket bombed the whole place. But the airstream around the cathedral kind of diverted the bombs, and so it got hit 40 times in total, and the middle aisle got burned out. A lot of the glasswork is new. The tower work was hit. I saw some of the tower, these really gothic bits from the 14th century that came down. It's very emotional. I have to say, it was very emotional to see it, because I remember hearing those stories and thinking, I'm never, ever, ever, ever going to go there. Like, I mean, the reasons why they went there and why this happened in history. And now I'm here, and not only am I here, I bloody walked here from West Cork. So yeah, it was like, I was there, I'm looking at it, I'm going, oh my God, what a monster of a building. It is big. So, me all happy looking at the building. Then I went to ask, could I get a stamp for my Pilgrim's passport? And the woman there, she wasn't very happy. I had been very warm, I'd been sweating a lot. I was feeling a bit odd. I think I was really tired, and so I decided I would just take the tramway to Jenny's apartment, and I was very lucky, there was nobody there, and I had a little bit of time to myself. I could just sit down and have a coffee and have a glass of wine. I made some pasta and fell into bed and slept most of yesterday. I had a little bit of a look at what I need to do. And I mean, it was made so welcome. Like, there was a little basket with chocolate, chocolate and nuts and cream for my legs and cream for my feet. And I felt very wanted. Oh yeah, and a laptop cleared for me so that I could do a bit of social media. So I felt very loved, I have to say. Very loved and very wanted. And then the phone rang, and Rosie said, could I come and play in the center tomorrow? So I've said yes to that. And the other thing was nothing much. We had dinner all together last night, and we went to bed early. I was wrecked. I didn't do much. And then today I had a little bit of a look at where I am with the website, because not much has happened at the website. So I did that. I had a look at some of the film and stuff, and I'm going to do hopefully a bit more work tonight. And then today I went back to the cathedral. I had a good walk around. Now there is tours. There is tours that you can take, and I might go back and do that tomorrow. And then I came down to see the mosque, and it is big. It is very, very big. Now there was prayer on, so I couldn't go in. I might try again tomorrow. And then I went for puchka, I think it's called, or gushka, something like that. And to have, the only thing they serve is goulash. So goulash, and I had like a dark beer with it, and it was really good. It was actually really good. That's all you can get. So it's a little bit like the roti place that we used to have in the outside Voorburgwal. One dish restaurant. And then you get like a little bit of sauce extra, like the goulash is with meat. And then once you've had that with your piece of bread, you can ask for more bread and you can get a bit more sauce. So they also, what I saw, serve slivovic. Now, I asked her once, she didn't hear me, and that's probably a good thing. Then I went on, I found a secondhand store, and I got myself a new long skirt, because I got rid of the last one because it was too heavy, but I really, really miss feeling safe in my long skirt. So in the secondhand shop, I found a linen dress in the same color as the other one, but it's linen, so it's by far not as heavy, and yeah, it's long, so I'm happy out again. Then I went to a licorice store, which was on the same road as the mosque, and got a bag of licorice, so I don't feel so lonely. I don't feel so far away from the things that I love. And I'm now having a little drink, because at 8 o'clock I'm meeting Jenny and Søren again for dinner at a Korean place. So Sean the Harp will have to work tomorrow. I have to put a program together. There goes your language. And do a bit of practice. I might go, like, I have to say, God, it's got a good buzz, like, it's got a really good buzz. It's not a very pretty city, but everybody is outside because the weather is nice, and people are sitting around in the parks, and they're sitting on terraces, and they're having lunch, and they're having dinner, and they're having drinks, and they're meeting friends. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go see, can I participate a little bit? And yeah, bring it on. I think I'll stay until Thursday or Friday, because apparently it's a great city to party in, and maybe I could do with a bit of a party. I'll have to think about it. Like, because they said, Thursday would be okay, but Friday was better. So if I can get some stuff done, I've been looking at, SEO and things, really not that interesting, but I should have a bit more of a grip on these things. I was reading up on the Theban Legion as well, from Bearton and Martinique. The Theban Legion. So remember, I did the little video of the old Irish harper in the Bearton amphitheatre. Now it is said that the last bit of the Theban Legion, a few hundred men, withstood the army, the Legion, the Roman army there on their own, and they were massacred. And this is after, in 287 or 86, in Martinique, the Theban Legion is told. Martinique, of course, is in the foothills of the Alps, and it was said that the Gauls had risen because they were Christians. So the Theban Legion, who were also Christians and were headed by a Christian, they were told that they would have to renounce Christianity and, make offers to the Roman gods, and they refused. So the head of that part of the Roman army, he decided that he would, by lottery, kill every 10th legionnaire of the Theban Legion until they would say that they were going to let go of Christianity. And they don't, and then they get slaughtered. The same thing, the other parts of the Theban Legion they were in Cologne, in Trieste, and Cologne, Trieste, and somewhere else, and they get the same challenge, and they're also slaughtered. And then the last few hundred men are just outside of Xanten, Beerten, and when they built the, and it was said that they were slaughtered there and then put into graves, and they did find graves not too far from the Beerten Theatre when they started preparing the ground for building the church, which was being rebuilt in the 1900s. So, yeah, you know, the late 19th century. So it's really, really, it was really, really good to be there. It was really good to sing my song there. It was really good to walk through that piece of history. So maybe tomorrow I can find time to also go to the Roman museum. I'll see, and if I stay a little bit longer, I'll have time to go and see all of it. So, Danny made a list for me of things that I should go and see and do, and yeah, take 3 today, and I think there's 4 or 5 more. So there's also like eating the best dinner in Europe. There is eating the best, what is it, falafel is in there. There's a lot of food in there. A lot of food, a lot of meeting people and drinking, which I'm sure I can manage. And yeah, so I'm feeling really good. Like my body is really good, and it's standing to me that I've been taking days off. So I'm happy out. Now my church is nearly gone, and I nearly have to go and meet my friends. So I'm gonna leave it for now and see, can I get a bit of charge on this phone. It's the first time that I share as well on Facebook while being live. I don't know if that is helpful for some of you who were complaining that you couldn't see the live updates come up. So this is the best I can do, and it's straight away posted to the timeline then as well. Thank you very much for being here with me. Thank you very much for all your support. I didn't really do a lot about the fundraising last month, so I'm thinking about starting to do that again. Of course, I've got the fundraiser going until the end of the trip. I wouldn't be able to take this rest and those days off and see all the stuff that I'm seeing if it weren't for your help. So thank you very much for that. The GoFundMe is From Here to Jerusalem, just like the hashtag From Here to Jerusalem. Yeah, you can follow me also on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And it's always nice to have you here. Sean can't wait to play for you again. And I'm looking forward to playing tomorrow evening. And now I'm going to go to dinner. And thank you and see you soon. Bye bye.